talk about mean, median, mode, and range. Before we move on to mean, median, mode, and range, we have our warm-up here. How do we arrange these numbers from the least to the greatest? We have to know that. So we must, after rearranging this data, you must have it like this. This is very important for our lesson on mean, median, mode, and range. Okay, number two, you must be able also to rearrange these numbers from the least to the highest. You see that after doing that, you will get your arranged data as this. Okay, now dividing numbers, you must know how to do your long division here. 820 divided by 4, what will be the answer? You see that we'll get this one as the answer. Right, we go number 4, 650 divide by 10. If you divide this one by 10, you see that you get 65 as the answer. Number 5, 1125 divided by 25. Right, you'll get 45 as the answer. Number 6, also using your long division or a calculator, 2275 divided by 7, you will see that you will get this as the answer. Right, this is very, very important, especially when you are calculating what we call the mean. You will learn this in today's lesson. Let's go to complete the expression using 3 and 4 so that it equals 19. Right, you can play around with 4, 3, 4, and 5 so that you get 19. The best thing is to say 5 times 3, you get 15. Then you add 4, you get 19. All right. Okay, or you can write that one 3 times 5. Right, you can exchange 3 and 5. Still, you still get the same answer. Because using PEMDAS, you start by multiplying, then you add. So it's 3 times 5, then you get 15, then you add 4. According to PEMDAS. Don't add first, then you multiply. That will be wrong. Okay. So our objective is learning to find the median, mean, mode, and range of a data set. Okay. So all these words, by the end of the lesson, you must be able to know what mean is, what median, mode, range, and outlier, which is another aid that has been added here. All right, we may not talk about it, but you must know what an outlier is. Okay, so the mean is the sum of the data, right? The sum of the data that you have divided by the number of items that you have added. Okay, let's go to median. Median is the value of the odd number of data items that are in order. Right, so you have to have your data, arrange that data first. Then it's easier for you to find the median after the data has been arranged in order. Okay, that is very important. So for an even number of data items, you must make sure that you find the average of the two middle values. All right, with practice, we are going to understand what we are talking about here. Then the other thing is mode. Mode, from the word mode itself, is the number that appears most. So most, then mode. Right, so mode is the value or values that occur most often in any given data set. All right, so after arranging your numbers, just look at the number that is repeating most. That eventually becomes your mode. Okay. Then the other word is range. What is the range of in a data set? You just need to find the highest number and the lowest number. Find the difference between those two numbers. That defines what we call the range. So in this case, range of a data set is the difference between the greatest and the least values. It is used to show the spread of data set. Okay. Let's go to examples so that we understand what we need to do here. Find the mean, median, mode, and range for this data that is given. So here, how do we find the mean? Let's start with the mean. From what you learned, how do we find mean? Mean, you need to add all these values, right? So the values you need to add them. Right, after adding this one, you get 30. Then what is the next step? Ensure that you divide the sum by the number of items. Count these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it means that you have to divide this one by, divide your sum by 8 items. Right. There, so 30 divided by 8, you will get 3.75. So it means 3.75 becomes your mean. Okay. This another word for mean is average. That is very important. Okay. So the mean in this case is 3.75. Okay. Let's go to this same set data. Okay. If you go to this same data set, you'll see that we need to find median in this case. What is important when it comes to finding the median? Right. Arrange the values in the order. Most students, they will just think maybe you just find the middle number as it is. The first thing is to ensure that your data is arranged in ascending order. Okay, so this data now has been arranged here. Now we need to, there are two middle values in this case. So to find the mean, you need to add the two values. Right. Okay, you see, counting from left, counting from the right, it leaves this 2 and 4 as the central numbers, right? Or the numbers at the middle. Then we need to add these two, then we divide by 2. So adding this, we'll get 6. 6 divided by 2, we get 3. So 3 becomes our median. So see, if you check out the data set, 3 is not there, but you after calculating, it shows that that's the number that divides our data into equal halves. Okay, that's what median mean. Right, so our median in this case is 3. Let's go to the next one, which is mode. For mode, we don't need to do any calculation. We must understand what mode is. Mode is the number that appears most. Okay, so arranging our data still, it makes things easier for us. Right, so you can see that the number that is repeating most, or the number that is appearing most, is 2. So it means 2 is our mode here, because 2 occurs 3 times. 4 occurs 2 times, so it can't be our mode in this case. But 2 appears more than any other number in our data set. So the mode is 2. Then the range in this case, like what we discussed when we were doing our definitions, we said the range is the highest number minus the lowest number. So after arranging your data, it's clearly easy to find that the number on the far right becomes your highest number. The number on the far left becomes your lowest number. So the matter is just to subtract these two values. Right. So this one is the lowest value. This is our greatest value. Subtract these two numbers. Then we get 7. So it means 7 is our range for this data. All right. Okay. Now to find mean in here, you can do this one as well. Just the way we did previously. We add the values. Having added the value, we get 34 here. Then what do? We need to divide this sum by what? By counting the number of items that we added. If how many items? There are 8 items in this case. So you divide by 8, then we get 4.25